Hi, ladies. I am going to do a brief story time. And in some of my earlier videos, I mentioned that I witnessed domestic violence up close and personal. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened or what I saw. And it is so classic to what you see today. She was a PhD woman and he was a GED man who was violent. Now, I am related to him. I haven't seen him in decades. I know he's still alive, but I haven't seen him in decades. Now, they had just gotten married, and I was about 12, 13, and they lived really close by to us. So I would go over their house on my bike and visit. And my parents really kind of encouraged it because she was amazing, okay? She was divorced. She had a son. She was a college girl who programmed computers in the 1970s, okay? If you can imagine, I didn't even know what a computer was. I knew that was, something fantastic, but, we're talking the computers that probably filled a room back then. So she was brilliant. She was beautiful. And I remember going to visit them at their house, and they had just gotten their furniture. So had all this beautiful, just gorgeous, brand new furniture. And she had tons and tons of clothes, okay? It was at least a 4-bedroom house. All the closets had her clothes in them. She had a closet filled just with coats, right? And she and I would sit and talk, and she, discuss different things. And they were trying to have a baby. And he was very charming, okay? Very charming. Tall, Southern, charming, okay? One day, my mother gets a call. He has beat her up. And I believe she left for a while. I think she rented an apartment and left for a while. And I remember my mother talking to her on the phone, and my mother said, "You need to leave and not come back, okay? You need to get away from here and not come back." Now, I didn't hear the rest of the conversation, and it would be about a year later, all right, before I would see her again. And I went over to visit. She was there. She had gone back to him. And she says, well, he destroyed all the furniture, all the brand new furniture they had just bought. He poured something over it, and they had to get rid of all the furniture. He poured something over all of her clothes, in all the closets. All of her boots, all of her coats, all of her shoes, all of her handbags were all destroyed. He destroyed every single thing. All of it had to be thrown out. And, I would visit periodically here and there, and they would have a baby together. Okay, years have gone by, and my mother gets another phone call. One of the neighbors called my mother and told her he is beating her in the street. Okay, and my mother didn't drive at that time, so she couldn't really do anything. But they took her to the hospital, and it was just awful. It was just awful. She was in there for a good while, like 10 days, something like that, a good while. And I remember it because her son stayed with us, okay? I'm not sure, the little girl, I don't think we had her because she was too little. Well, I don't think we had her. We might have. I only remember the son. At any rate, she comes to see us right out of the hospital, okay? She comes to get her son. Oh, baby, he had beat her so bad. Her face was all bruised and swollen. She was bandaged everywhere. And again, my mother said, you got to get out of here. You cannot stay here. And now I'm in the room listening, but they shoo me out after a while because I don't know what they talked about too much after that. But she got in a cab and she left. Now that was, better than 40 years ago. I've never laid eyes on her again. She did not go back to him after that. I'm not sure where she went directly after she left our house. She might have gone and gotten on the plane. I don't know. But ladies, when you get these men who don't know how to control their emotions, are giving you grief every day, I don't care how charming they are. I don't care how loving they are. Baby, please, please, please. It doesn't matter how much you love him. because these are men that are dangerous. He could have very well have killed her. She was in the hospital a long time. And back in those days, we're talking the 1970s, a man could beat a woman in the street and not even go to jail. Okay, so that's how common beating women was. All right, we have the law on our side now. At least he'll get arrested, but baby, that GED man, he was so jealous of her, because why in the world would you do that? Not only have you beat her up, all the furniture she picked out, and she might have paid for, I don't know who paid for the furniture, but he destroyed every piece. All of her beautiful clothes, all destroyed. Okay, that speaks to more than anger, okay? That speaks more to hatred, all right? Be careful out here, ladies. It was awful what he did to her. It was. And remember, I'm only seeing her after she's out of the hospital, all right? And I'll never forget it. Take care of yourselves, and the warning signs. The first time was a warning sign, because she said, I remember her saying, she says, I had no idea. It was sudden the first time. The second time, it was worse. She could have died. Remember that, ladies. Be careful. Love you, ladies.